check it out. I don't know if y'all see what's going on, what's happening, but look, we got another episode of, you know what I mean, Morning Joe with Phil, with King Phillip. All right, I got my Joe, you know what I mean? The young activist got his Joe, you know what I mean? And he got the special cup, he got the Goku joint. I just wanted a little bit more coffee in mine, so that's why I got my thermal, because this is my coffee this time, you know what I mean? Other days I would have my tea, but today I'm rocking with my coffee, all right?
Tell him. Let him know what's going on.
So, what we doing here? This is what we doing. So, number one, let me go ahead and put this disclaimer out for y'all.
Let him know.
I'm gonna let y'all know for one, this is based off of experience living. All right, none of this is coming from too much research based, facts based. This is experience and a lot of opinions. So if you have a problem with it, we don't know what to tell you, to be honest with you. But we're looking at the destructive behaviors in the black and brown community. All right, and we just tend to shrug them off. But before we get into that, my young guest, introduce yourself for the people. You know what I mean? If they don't know who you is, who you be, let them know who that is.
My name is Elijah. Also
He
known
put a little he put a little bass in his voice. You hear him? My name is Elijah.
That's a psychological reaction towards being on camera.
Hey, that's what it do, huh?
Yeah, you can't be talking like this.
All right.
Right? But my name is Elijah, also known as Young Activist. I'm a youth leader and social activist in the community. I read Black Jesus each and every single day.
All the days.
All the days.
All the days.
And it's a beautiful thing for Phil, my Malcolm friend and brother, to let me on this show with y'all so we could be able to talk this stuff.
Yes, indeed.
You know what I'm saying?
Yes, indeed. Just so y'all know where we at, you know what I mean? You can go to our Make a Chess Move or website, you know what I mean? Scroll through there, see what we got on there. You can also like our Facebook page if you have not done so already.
Like it up.
You know what I mean? Like that thing up.
How many
Don't
pages
stop
y'all
here. We at I don't even know, to be honest with you.
You gotta know that. Hey, we supposed to roll. We gotta have goals for the people.
We over 1,000.
Oh yeah. We gonna get that over too.
We hitting. You understand? And then so go hit the Instagram too. You know what I mean? If you haven't done that, go hit the Instagram. Go hit that Twitter joint. We got the Tumblr joint up there too. But
Come on now.
that's where we're gonna get y'all started at. All right. So this morning, hey, for one, Breonna Taylor. I'm gonna just say that number one. We had a black prosecutor. Who could have stood up for black folks at this time and in this situation, but he did not. He did not. Can I ask you a personal question?
Please, by all means.
Have you ever dated a white girl? Or yeah, we're gonna keep it at that. Have you ever dated a white girl?
When I was real young, like sixth or seventh grade.
Okay.
It was nothing serious, and it was like a week-long relationship. This was before I understood about the importance and the integrity of being with the owner. So
Okay. All right.
but I ain't done it like with a conscious understanding. I would never do it now. I'm just saying.
Why not?
Well, because I love my own. You cannot love your people and fight for your people and be with your oppressor. Honestly, when you look at people who we all look up to within our communities, talking about Martin Luther King, Malcolm X, shit, a lot of our people got a problem with MLK in our community. One thing he did do that nobody can deny him about was he married and stayed with a black woman.
Yes, indeed.
You know what I'm saying?
Yes, indeed.
Same with Malcolm X.
I mean, the times was different though. The times were different though then.
I
You know what I mean, I'm saying that to say, like, in college, I went to college with white women. I was in college where there were no black women. And let me take that back. The two black women, one, she had a white boyfriend, you know what I mean? She's married, got white kids and stuff right now. And the other one, she was, she was probably one of those ones that a dude should have went for, because she was real dingy, goofy, just all that kind of looking. But she had her head on straight. you would see her running across the quad to class every day. Every day type of shit. You know what I mean? So those were the sisters that was up there. And, at the same time, you got these white girls up there at that college campus. You just show a little bit of pigmentation.
Yeah, they fetishizing over
Man, they are throwing it left and right.
Hey, I'm over here.
Fastballs,
and you over here catching it.
Catching it left and right.
That's not good.
At all.
That's not
At
good.
all.
That's not
At
good.
all. I was catching it left and right. You know what I mean? And when I say that, I didn't have the discipline. I didn't have what it took. I didn't have the education that I have now. Realizing why I was doing what I was doing when I was in college. You know what I mean? Right. So I don't excuse none of my behavior because I still look at all of the black men that was up there at Fort Lewis College, you know what I mean, that was messing with white girls. They had a black girl back in the city where they was from. Right now, they back at home in the city where they came from with that black woman. With that, you know what I mean?
That makes sense. So it's kind of like having like a work wife, but like you're cheating for real though.
Real life. Yeah. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So that brings us down to our first question. You know what I mean? So we're looking at number one. How come black men who are with white women, who are married to them, who are just boyfriend, girlfriends, how come we don't hear about them getting killed by the police? All right, so that's the overall theme for this conversation this morning. So the question that we're gonna start off with is: can you be pro-black and with a white woman? Can you be pro-black and with a white woman?
What's the comments looking like?
So right now we got a few of them. You know what I mean? So Miss Becky, she said, respect and love to these two brilliant minds and community leaders, especially discussing this topic. Right on, Miss Becky.
And it's coming from Becky?
Yes, indeed.
Wow.
Right on, Miss Becky.
I appreciate you, Becky.
All right, I went with the white. All right. Hey, my man Pope, so he know. The thing is,
I appreciate your honesty.
Hey, we was there. I remember this picture that we have on social media. It was me, my man, two Popes. So they're twins. All right. They're twins. It's two Popes. We call them the Popes. Both of them, both their names is Rodney. The fuck, you know what I mean?
Really?
Both of their names is Rodney. Rodney Pope.
That's some black people
black
stuff. Hey, I'm not gonna lie. My two best friends growing up, the big brother, the little brother, and the dad was all named Dante. Like, what are you, Dante Jr.?
All right, so check it out. It was me, the two Popes, and my man Jimmy Manley. You know what I mean? All of us played football. We were all sitting on the couch when we took that picture. And then my man, he commented on that picture. What he commented, like the white girl or the white platter, the white something. It was something that he had commented on that picture, like the white buffet. You know what I mean? It was like a buffet because that's what it looked like at that time.
All you could eat. All you could eat.
Man, it was
Caucasoids, brunettes, blondes.
Man.
Runners, joggers.
So let's come back to it. You know what I mean? I mean, it came back down to, we did have a lot of fun at school. You know what I mean? But,
hey, two Popes, man. That's -1.
You coming back right now, looking at Phillip, what Phillip was doing in Durango, Phillip not a noun day will ever do what I was doing there.
Oh, yeah.
Back home in the city.
Maturity exists, right?
I mean, it still comes back down to I knew what I should be doing and what I shouldn't be doing, and I still chose the latter.
Okay, so it's improvement in discipline, right?
Yes, indeed.
Okay.
Yes, indeed. So my man Mark, he says, we got a few people who like, yeah, you can be, you know what I mean, pro-black and marry a white person.
Hey, I want y'all all, if this all right with you, I want all y'all to tell me why you can be pro-black and date a white woman.
Please.
Or vice versa, why you could be pro-black and date a white man being a black woman, right? I want to know why y'all think that. The reason being is because it's kind of like, you know what I'm saying, for example, I don't think you can be in the animal kingdom supportive like certain insects and be a spider. You know what I'm saying? It doesn't make no sense to me. I'm gonna be real with you, right? You have to show your integrity in your community by showing your loyalty first. And I don't understand, and it's not. And I think a lot of people dictate wanting to be with your own as separation. But the crazy part is when you go to like the Muslim culture, like the Arabs and the Asian culture, when they say be with your own,
They with their own.
but not only that, everybody respects it.
And
You know what I'm saying?
not just being with their own in a relationship, they're with their own in businesses, they're with their own in their personal lives, they with their own when it comes to, I mean, we can't get in.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Real talk. And if they get it, they get shunned by their community, or they got a little black sauce to their family, right?
Can I ask you a personal question?
What's up?
Have you ever been with a Mexican? I mean, with an Asian?
Asian?
Yeah, I never boned an Asian. I never.
Not really.
I never even a Mexican that speak Española. I never.
I don't have no problem with them. Just because when you go to South or Central America, you literally go past North Mexico, it just gets black. Like, there's people who look like me and you out there. You go to Cuba right now, you going to blend in like a sore thumb. Well, not a sore thumb, like a very well, functioning
You know what
thumb.
I mean? So let's come back. You know, my man Mark, he said it depends on your definition of pro-black. The way I define it is the continuation and preservation of black life. With that being said, he say no.
So can you be...
I mean, I love that definition. I love how he put it. You know, if you're going to be pro-black and with a white woman, with a white girl, with a white wife, that is not continuing. Or is it? I mean, they say once you dilute the white with the black, it becomes black.
True. That's definitely true to a degree.
So
right?
Is that still continuing the preservation of black life?
I mean, I can understand that to a degree, right?
Right.
But it's deeper than that. You know what I'm saying? One thing you gotta understand is there's a lack of integrity, especially in our generation. We've lost integrity. And so a lot of our community and our people, we don't like sticking with our own because we are self-centered, you know what I'm saying? Or we find a lot of self-hatred within our own communities. Like, you trying to be with the same person who subliminally taught you to hate yourself, taught your mother to hate her hair, you know what I'm saying? Taught your family and your brothers and your sisters to hate their skin complexion, you know? Taught yourself to blonde your hair. You know, I cannot be with somebody subliminally understanding that their culture is built off of the self-hatred of mine. You know what I'm saying? And then on top of that, what if you guys have a child together? Let's say you have a black boy together. You know what I'm saying? He's still a black man, whether he's light-skinned or dark-skinned. He's still going to be profiled, especially by cops. You know what I'm saying? So my thing is with cops and with police officers, what is the white woman going to tell him? Becky ain't always going to be in the car with him when he gets pulled over. Or what about the daughters and their hair and how to do it? You know, she's still going to have a woolly texture hair. She's not going to know how to do her daughter's hair. You know what I'm saying? But that's why I always say when it comes back to other cultures like Asian, Arab cultures, they stick with their own. And guess what? People embrace that and be like, oh, we're so happy you can embrace your culture and we find a way to accept it. But when it comes to our culture and the slave mentality in which we've been taught in America.
We walk around with these blonde weeds.
You know what I'm saying?
Around with, oh, man.
And guess what happens when we call out and embrace our culture, embrace our natural woolly hair? You know, we called supreme, we called aggressive, we called a bunch of different phrases negative because a lot of people don't want us to embrace who we are. You know what I'm saying? You can't even be pro-black.
I mean, even looking at that too, it comes from our own as well. You know what I mean? It took me until I was over the age of 30 to get comfortable in the skin that I'm in. You know, when I was younger, I was called every black joke in the book.
Yeah, man.
From, you know, this nigga, he looked like 1159. You know what I mean?
Everything that's
everything
possible.
in the book to, look at the old piece of gum on the sidewalk type of shit. You know what I mean? I bet you sweat coffee. You know what I mean? So it's, it was coming from my own people at that time too. So, looking at that too, can you be pro-black with an attitude, with a personality, with even that destructiveness towards your own? Right. Because I know some of these white women are holding these black men down.
Yeah, they're more submissive. Let's just use the word.
You know what I mean?
They're more loyal to a degree. No, I wouldn't even say more loyal. I'd actually be doing my sisters a disservice. Black women are very loyal people. Period. I've seen them hold down men in prison.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah. I mean, the thing is too, you know, salute to black women. Number one, you know, I was raised by my grandma.
Right.
All right, my grandma, my mom, when she was in prison and shit like that, my grandma, she stepped up and she did that.
Mm-hmm.
But my dad, he was nowhere in that picture.
Mm-hmm.
You know, throughout growing up, and I shared this before, I grew up fighting other black men and stuff
Mm-hmm.
like that. So to the point where I was told I have a problem with black men. You know,
Mm.
not truly realizing my issue with black men. So again, how do we address this issue when it's coming from inside and it's coming from outside?
Right.
You know what I mean? So
See,
let's tap in with some of these questions, what they saying.
yeah,
So
you see the controversy. I'm enjoying
so
this.
my
What's going
man
on?
Pope, he said he would never do any of that foolishness at the crib. Oh man, they don't understand. Hey, they don't understand my struggle. I couldn't do it for real. You know what I
All
mean?
right, you plus one, Rodney again.
Hey,
You plus one,
I
Pope.
mean the thing is, we come back. You know, we like you said, you mature.
Yeah.
You do mature, and we see what it is now. You know what I mean? So, but that was a story. But
The difference between Muslims and other groups versus American black is how they treat their women and their role they see their family. American men treat women how they see and represent them. So is that in a negative connotation or like misogyny? Because usually when people phrases like Muslim cultures versus American cultures, they phrase it off of misogyny, especially in this feminist culture we live in. So I'm just wondering, like, what do you mean by that? Is that a negative connotation or positive? Because American black men are subliminally oppressed on how they treat black women.
she came back and said some white men are holding some black women down too.
That's
Oh
true.
man, that
I've
is.
seen that firsthand. But
Oh man,
you
firsthand
know what
within
they
our
holding it down
community
with
too.
is the money. You know what I'm saying?
I mean, it's
I've seen a lot of black women go to white men for some bread, for some dough.
yeah,
I've
yeah,
seen that firsthand. I'm not even gonna lie to you.
yeah. So my man Mark said it would continue the black love that fits into pro black as well. Okay, okay. How much do you water it down before it becomes white again? Because what I'm seeing too is with a lot of these mixed black men, you know what I mean? They are going for white women,
Yeah.
you know. So how many times must we dilute the blackness? Because I'm just looking at the bull who played football, the quarterback for KC.
Patrick Mahomes?
You know what I
Yeah.
mean? And he just got him a white girl. You know what I mean? So, and I'm sure they about to
And he's
do their thing.
he's high yellow. So
That's what
yeah.
I'm saying. You know what I mean?
I would say
So-
I would say that it's impossible to be real with you. Right? This is why I don't judge
You
blackness.
said it's impossible.
I think it is. It's
Okay.
from the father's point of view, right? Because I don't really judge blackness by color. I judge it by your bloodline and your loyalty. I don't really judge it by color just due to the fact there's people out here who if they shaved off their head, they woolly afros, they look like skinheads. Like my the boy with the big afro, Azariah.
Yep.
You know what I'm saying?
Yep.
If he shaved off his head, he'd look like a white man, little white kid. Real
I
talk.
know a few.
So I know I'm saying. So me too. Jason Kidd in the NBA, Blake Griffin. There's a lot of people out here who could easily intertwine with white folk, almost like the paper bag test back in like the 1940s, 1950s. Easily mixing, right? But the whole thing is you could tell that they still got some flavor in them, right?
All right.
Some
A little
sauce.
seasoning. A little seasoning. All right.
I don't think you can never dilute real blackness
right.
to be real.
Okay. Okay. I mean, but that's just on appearance. You know what I mean? That's just on appearance. When it comes to diluting it, that's taking that flavor out of it. That seasoning.
Shit.
You know what I mean? So the more that we continue to, this is my opinion again. This is my opinion. If we continue to, if I date a white girl, have a kid, you know what I mean? He's gonna be light skinned, probably whatnot. You know what I mean? If he dates a white girl, they're gonna have a kid. Again, that's losing more of this culture, more of the seasoning, more of the flavor from the original source.
Dang, that's crazy.
And then, again, it's coming back down to
Right.
the black man in essence.
I think it's just losing melanin. Right? I think that you could be chocolate, like dark, like you said, 1159 black. And I still think that you could be like pro-white.
Oh, yeah.
That's what I'm saying. I think
Oh,
you could
yeah.
dilute the culture.
That's when you infuse somebody in another person's culture,
It's for rap.
then that, yeah.
That's why I don't
Yeah.
really judge it by a color line thing.
Yeah. All right.
Black men say the same about black women. The white people cause black women. I don't know. That was probably for a minute.
Yeah.
I don't understand that. Horrible. Right. Some white men are holding black women down also. We know that.
Yeah. I mean, I know. So this is another topic. I had just touched on this too. I don't even think I had touched on this topic yet. We do have a lot of black men in the community, you know, who are, I'm gonna put it out there, who are the face of black men in our community, who's on the forefront of the black men doing community work and stuff like that.
Yeah.
And these black men are out here dogging their wives,
Committing adultery.
you know, all the whole nine.
Yeah.
All right. So
adultery.
it comes back down to, you know, how can we truly stand? I mean,
This is why I love Malcolm X, right? Because I'm gonna be real with you. A lot of black male community. Well, I mean, not a lot of them. I'm gonna be real with you. It's probably like 1 out of 6. Back in like the 1960s when we had big leaders, because Martin Luther King was known for cheating on his wife. A lot of people use that phrase and that term to say all black community leaders cheat on their wives when that's not true. That's a stigma and a stereotype that's been pushed on black male leaders, and that's why they're like, okay, now it's time to start pushing the black women forward because black men don't know how to handle it. They're gonna cheat on their wife. And that's not true. Malcolm X never cheated on his wife. You know what I'm saying? Stokely Carmichael is not known for cheating on his wife. You know, Fred Hampton never cheated on his wife. Although he died young, he never did, nor is their record. Marcus Garvey never did. He was dirty and he left Jamaica and like came to America and like left his family behind. I'm not gonna lie, but he never was known or documented the record cheating on his wife.
that's it's still levels of respect too.
Right.
You know, you don't. I do understand. You know, black women, they ain't gonna just stand for anything. You know what I mean? They ain't gonna let a nigga just do anything and get away with it. Just continue to disrespect them.
Oh,
you know
you
what I mean? So that's when, you know, it comes to the black women getting rid or telling the man to leave, per se. I don't see that in a lot of. I mean, I can't say that though because white folks, they get divorces like motherfucking.
Yeah.
So it's not like they keep shit together too, but that's not us. That's not what we're looking at though. We're looking at too, coming back to the original thought. Why are these black men who are with white women not getting gunned down by the police? Like, I mean, and we see these black women with the videos, you know what I mean, recording their boyfriends, their husbands, getting, you know what I mean,
Yeah, real
all
talk.
that. We see that. We don't
Yeah.
see. I haven't seen or no video of a white woman, you know what I mean, telling the police, you know what I mean?
Yeah, right.
So that's where I'm at with it. So how come is it again, we're looking at what type of behaviors is it in those black men? Let's start there. Let's look at what kind of behaviors are in those black men that keep them, you know what I mean, safe from the police. Because I know, number one, the black men that I know who have white girlfriends and stuff like that have a essence of white to them.
Yeah, they definitely conduct themselves more Caucasian because they're around them a little bit more.
And it's not saying, you know, they talk proper. It's not saying that they.
Now I've seen hoodlums be with them. Like
I'm saying that they. Oh, that's cool, dude. That's you know what I mean. They take on some of the culture of the white folks.
Yeah,
you know what I
real
mean.
talk.
You know, instead of giving you the head nod, they gonna come down on you. You know what I mean. They gonna do
Howdy,
that.
partner. They come down like the overseer with
you
the.
come down. You come with a fist. They gonna.
Quite.
You know what I mean.
Indubitably.
You know, they gonna ask you what does on fleek mean. You know what I mean. They gonna ask you. You know stuff that they lost. Stepping into the white culture, being with white women and being within that. So, is them being able to put on that persona, is them being able to feel safe and warm around white people, including the police. Is that a factor?
Right.
You know what I mean? Let's even look at, is defunding the police the answer?
I got answers to both of these.
I mean, what's your answer?
So let's just put into perspective, right? And I
Right.
want y'all to definitely answer this down below. So there is one instance where I have seen a black man get killed by a police officer dating a white woman, and it was in Texas when he was eating ice cream on his couch, and he was watching a football game, and then the white woman came into the house. She said it was a mistake, and then shot him and killed him. That's one instance I do know for sure. And it was a white woman, but ironically, that was a girl who got sentenced for 10 years like a year ago. People were just like, oh, she gonna get out. Yo, remind me of her name. I want y'all to comment down. Remind me of the sister's name and the brother's name where that incident happened down in Texas where he was eating ice cream and watching a football game. The name slips my mind, but that was a black man who got killed by a police officer, but he was dating a police officer. So that is an instance of police brutality where you're dating the oppressor. But it's kind of interesting, right? Because he was in a relationship with her. And so it was clearly like a form of a vendetta or like some form of argument on why she did. She ain't going to do it after like a good night out.
All right.
You know what I'm saying? So even speaking on that, that's actually a great transitioning point to is defunding the police the answer, even speaking on that. So I would say defunding the police, personally for me, I think that's dumb. You know, being a black man, going to many forms of hoods all across America, I think that it's committing suicide within our own communities.
What is defunding the police to you?
So defunding the police to me is taking funds out of their pocket and giving them back to other forms of systems. If it's education reform, if it's improving schools, if it's
So you think the
businesses.
police has a place in schools?
Not necessarily. I think that, I'm actually for having more counselors as opposed to police officers. I think that's smarter. I think having security guards that are trusted, you can honestly break up a fight without a gun. Especially talking about middle school and elementary. Maybe high school you might need one, especially if you're in these Caucasian schools where people coming to school with trench coats on.
I mean, but is that where they putting the police at?
No, they ain't putting the police there. They putting the police at manuals.
All right.
They putting the police at the bottom level of East High School. They putting them in deltas. They putting them, you know what I'm saying? DC 21.
DC 21.
Oh, Rise Up is a tiny school.
Man.
It's like an elementary school, and they putting them in, they put 3 in there. You know what I'm saying?
Man.
So yeah, you know what I'm saying? It's like a mini plantation. I would say that it's.
I mean, but you saying that's you know what I mean? Even you saying you're not for taking the money out of police pockets to put them to other resources within the communities. You say that's not the move.
I mean, you got to think. America's a capitalist system. You know what I'm saying? Who's the dude who owns Amazon? What's that man's name?
Bezos.
Jeff Bezos. Jeff Bezos makes like $123,000 every second. You know what I'm saying? He makes. He's gonna be the first trillionaire by the age of 2026 when he's 60 years old. Put that into perspective, man. Like there's a lot of funds in America all across. Honestly, all across the world. You know, there's people who privately fund America as a whole. So there's plenty of funds that we could push towards education reform, towards businesses. Honestly, if we stop spending with white money, because we spend over $3-4 trillion just alone as the black community within white pockets, and we talking about defunding the police. We need to defund these businesses we trying to sell to. We trying to buy from Walmart's, you know what I'm saying, the King Supers, to a lot of these different businesses because they ain't going back to our pockets. There's plenty of ways we could be able to fund those other businesses and those other situations to improve our community. But I don't think defunding the police the way. What are we gonna replace it with?
I mean, they say they got a solution.
Let's be real. Do you trust? I'm gonna be real with me, please. Cause I'm gonna be real. I don't know if I could trust a black man, especially how corrupt we are. A black man in our communities, you know what I'm saying, securing us for a long period of time, as opposed to a police officer within a system. The reason I say that is because I don't trust police officers, but we're just as corrupt. Just look at the pastors in our Christian churches. You know what I'm saying? All it takes is a little bit bread to be pulled his way, and is he still on your side? Like, our people got a price. And I don't know if I could trust my people in that situation of authority. What if they pissed off at somebody? Or one of they boys, Ricky, got killed. You know, they cousin. They still got to keep a form of professionalism. You think they could do that? Or do you think our people are too emotional to handle that power?
We got to police our own.
I mean, let's be real though.
I mean, I'm being real too. I would rather be policed by somebody who I know within my community.
Right.
I would rather somebody who I've known grow up. You know, if I seen, let's say, Officer Jones all throughout elementary, middle school, in the community, mobbing, you know, throwing a football, shit like that, all throughout, you know what I mean?
Right.
His partners who he bringing up, same thing.
Right.
If I see them, shit, I'm like, I'll be with them. You know what I mean? I fuck with them.
Okay.
You know, I'd rather be policed by our own than somebody else who, again, the same slavery mentality.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? I'd rather be policed. That's, again, you know, I would rather somebody black sign a check for me than somebody white sign a check for me.
For sure. And I agree upon that. Now, I'm not saying I don't trust my people more. It's just hard to see them in that authority due to the corruption of our own. A lot of our people slide some. Hey, bro, here's you know, an extra $20K. Get my boy out that position. You know, a lot of people might be struggling with rent, and you know they might be like, here, I'll take that real fast. But at least in the system of police officers, if you do that and get caught, you're gonna be taking out your position. I don't think we have enough integrity as a people. Now it's going back to integrity and loyalty to take people out those positions who was doing us wrong. You know, if that's the case, then all pastors would have already been fired.
I mean, but it comes back down to, you know, we've been shrugging our shoulders and not doing nothing about this behavior for decades.
Right.
To the point where it's become normal. So us talking about it right now, it's like, oh shit, they fucked up. It's being talked about, it's being discussed, but at the same time, there's been no action behind it. You know, so even me growing up, you know, my ties to church, Christianity, and stuff like that. Our pastor, when we was younger, cheated on, you know what I mean, his wife.
Oh man.
I mean, it was a whole issue within it, and I'm young.
Right.
And I'm young. This is the pastor, the man of God.
Hey, the person you supposed to be looking at to Christ-like. You understand? White Jesus-like.
A black man at that too. A black man at that too. You know, so we coming in this environment and stuff too. I understand where you're coming from, but it hasn't been addressed. There hasn't been no solutions about it besides black folks just talking, oh, the Rev, he fucking somebody else, gossiping about the shit.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Instead of providing real life solutions. So let's take a break real fast. Hold on. Because I see we got some comments coming in here.
Yeah, I want to see these comments too.
You know what I mean? They booming too.
Hey, Peter spammed us.
So, yeah, you see it, right?
I want to know, do y'all think we should defund the police? And then don't just say yes.
The person going into the relationship and how much it gets watered down. Okay, yeah, I agree. Okay, so Becky, she say, y'all don't need to waste valuable time in this discussion talking about the responsibility and accountability that white women have in this, as raised to be the oppressor. But as a white woman myself, I want to make sure that any white woman coming across this discussion see this provocation in the comments.
All right, Becky.
Okay. Number one, you know what I mean? Let's go ahead and jump on it real fast. You know, looking at white women's role, all right, and the accountability in this conversation right now. And I mean, because it's coming down to, you know, we're looking at solutions at the end. I'm starting to question, are we safer with white women? But then I know when I was messing with white women at the same time, you know, we had gotten into an argument and I was called a fucking nigger.
Oh, man.
I was called a fucking nigger.
And I've heard that story by a lot of black men. It's when they get heated, too.
When they get heated. You see the whole Karen in their face.
Right.
You see it all in their face. And I was called a fucking nigger.
That's why you cannot... See, that's why I just can't see stuff. Imagine having a kid, having a black son with this woman. You know what I'm saying? And realize y'all can't even share the same words together. Like, that's crazy when you really think about it. There's a lot of separation. This is why you don't see tigers and lions in the wild together.
I mean, so even coming back to, you know, with that conversation, even with me working with a little white boy when I was working at a camp in New York, again, when he got mad at me, 9 years old, you fucking nigger. But his parents, both lawyers, they paid. They don't have the time. So, looking at the white woman's role and accountability in this conversation and discussion like that, are we safe with y'all? Are we safer with white women?
I mean, you ever heard that quote by Malcolm X? The black woman is the most unprotected, disrespected, most unvalued woman in America. I would say it's contrary with the white woman. They're the most respected, protected, valued woman in America.
Oh yeah.
So not only do they
Oh,
have
yeah.
the protection and the value from you and the black community because you
But
gave
from
her the approval,
America.
but she got it from the KKK. She got it from capitalism. She got it from the Rothschilds. She got it from the president. She got it from the police officers. She got everything. Why she need your black self on top of that? You know what I'm saying? She already got the world on her shoulders. You might as well. I mean, you just giving her more.
So coming back to I mean with just, you know, my experience and a few other brothers' experience with dating white women and being called niggers and stuff like that. Coming back to, you know, I would be interested in hearing some of these black men who are with white women just as their parents, as their grandparents. You know, what is their take on the climate of the world? Do they think that these black men should be getting killed? Just to, you know, with no, ask them, you know, I would be interested in hearing what would they say when I already have an idea. I already have an idea of the excuses that they would provide, excusing the police for killing these black men.
Man,
you know what I mean? And at the same time, that you know, they've known this. They've known that their white partners, that their white partner spouses, grandmas, parents, or whatever within that lineage, they've called a few black folks niggers.
You can't be.
That's just me.
You cannot be an American and a proud American and not be for white people.
Mm-hmm.
What's this?
Yeah, he done bombed us.
Medics.
You know what I mean?
Oversight.
All right.
Police oversight. More accountability in the system, Peter. That's everyone. Community policing is the answer and has worked. But you have addressed the social issues that are within the black community. Everyone is survival mode.
Yep.
I don't think everybody's in survival mode. There's a lot of comfortability. You know, comfortability is the word, right? Comfortability. You know,
I understand what you mean.
yeah, there's a lot of comfort within our communities to a degree. But you know the crazy part is, go look this up, y'all. Look up, it's on YouTube. It's called "Is Defunding the Police Really the Way?" Right? I think that's what the YouTube video is called. If it's not, if you look that up, it's gonna show up. But there's a video on YouTube that has this organization interviewing white folk and interviewing black folk and asking them the same question.
Mm-hmm.
Do you think defunding the police is the way? You know, right now during this Black Lives Matter movement, all these white people, all these white saviors is like, oh yeah, definitely, yeah, Roger that. Do you think? And then they asking, do you think defunding the police is would be better for the black community? So they asking them, you know, via the black voice,
Yeah.
using the white people, and they're
Yeah.
like, oh yeah, for sure, yeah, they'll love it. And so then they go to the hood. You know what I'm saying? This
Yeah.
is in New York. This is on Malcolm X Boulevard. If y'all don't know, Malcolm X Boulevard is in the black community within I think Harlem. And long story short, I asked them the same question. They was like, "Do you think defunding the police is the way?" They was like, "Shit, I don't know about that." Well, be real, because when you in hoods in our communities, and a lot of white people, this just shows y'all never been to a hood. Y'all don't realize how much of a third world country it is, especially depending on where you at in the world. And so when you take away the form of the quote unquote authority within those communities and just leave it be, you're gonna see a lot more incidences like you do in Chicago every summer. And I'm not saying, like I said before, I am not pro police, nor do I condone the things that police officers do. I'm just saying, if we did something like that, we need something that could really like replace it and it be as stable or better, if not better than the police officers. Because leaving it be, let's be real, Phil. If we leave the black community be without police officers, we already know what's gonna happen. We know what's gonna happen.
I mean, can't say that. You know what I mean?
You think we would get it together?
I mean, I've been to a HBCU You know what I mean? What did they? What is it called? Every year they do it. A reunion at HBCU.
Oh, you talking about like school reunion or
You
graduation or
know what I
something like
mean?
that?
I've been to one of their reunion little things. I mean, the thing is, me coming from the east side, with seeing that many people on the 5 points, during Juneteenth when they used to have shootings and shit all the time just because a group of black folks accumulated. All right.
Right.
So when I'm out there at this HBCU and I see all these black folks in one space, I'm like, oh shit, let's go ahead and get out of here. Somebody about to get popped. That wasn't the case. And these towns are black owned, black ran, you know what I mean? Black businesses, black homes.
Black
You see
economy.
black folks driving Maybachs and Bentleys and all this other shit. And I'm like, it's possible. But at the same time, that's a scary thought too.
How many days was you there?
I was there for about a week. But that's a scary thought too, just to have everything black. You
That
know
is
what
weird.
happened the last time we had everything black.
Yeah, Black
You know what
Wall
I mean?
Street,
Yeah.
Tulsa, Oklahoma.
Yeah. So they can't have that. You know what I mean? But it was a beautiful thing. It is. I believe it's possible. So I can't say when black folks come together and if the police don't police us, then we gonna act an ass. I can't say that because all niggas ain't niggas.
Nah,
You know what
they're
I
not.
mean?
They're not.
We will have men that will be men, hold their nuts, and will stand up to those, like the Black Panthers, like the Crips, like the Bloods, like they originally started from, what they started for.
To be real, I say there is less niggas within our communities than be. You know what I'm saying? Like I don't think there's as many as what's stereotyped.
Oh,
For
yeah.
sure, I think
Oh,
that's
yeah.
a small percentage of us.
Oh, yeah.
To be real,
And they growing up.
yeah,
They growing up. I'm seeing them.
it's stereotypical as hell. It's
Yeah.
not real. You know what I'm saying? That's a very small percentage of what the black community truly is. But even then, right? You see a lot of older like it's honestly kids like me and younger who are out here the ones like really popping off on each other. You know what I'm saying? You don't really see folks like in their 30s really doing what these young cats are doing. And a lot of these older cats be scared of these young men because
For
they
what?
got guns and they not fighting no more. So the whole thing
It comes back down to why are they afraid of them?
because of the guns.
But
I
if
would
you
say-
build a relationship with them, you know what I mean? That's an ally with a gun.
I mean, I can understand that to a degree. I think emotions too involved.
That's an ally with a gun.
Let's
You know
read
what I
these
mean?
comments too.
I'm just saying that's an ally with a gun.
That's hilarious. Though.
You know
I'm
what I
not
mean?
against building relationships. No, not even in the
I
slightest.
mean, and that's the thing too within our community, and that's a problem. You know what I
Right.
mean? A lot of these older men, a lot of these OGs that fell back are scared of the younger
Yeah,
ones.
they be
like,
no
man,
jiving. I'm
yeah.
cool.
So it's crazy. But my man Peter, he said more funding towards education. We gonna get into this, you know what I mean? We gonna stick with you know what I mean? We gonna stick with the whole, why are the black men who are messing with these white women, getting killed or not getting killed, you know what I mean, or not getting touched. But I got something else I want to say about that too, because funding towards education
Towards the system.
to the system, yeah.
That just means
Okay, we see it.
that means
We
more
see
school to
it.
prison pipeline.
Okay, we see it. All right. We're going to get back to that. Corruption is equal across race, but it's better to have our people in positions of power instead of a white person. I mean, it's better to have our people who's going to look out for our people
Do you know? Okay,
in
so
position of power.
what's the definition of corruption, right? Because I think we're talking about capitalism corruption in this sense. And like when you think of corruption, you're thinking of like, okay, so this white person is gonna do the capitalism dirty within white America. That's not
I
true.
mean, I don't even look at it like a white person. It's if you're going to put money over the people and you corrupt.
For sure. And I think that's what I think. Tell me if I'm wrong, Peter, but I think you're going into the corruption of financial corruption, right? Or like, because that's honestly what corruption is in America, because it's built off of capital. And when you go into things like that, Peter, I just it's hard for me to see it in that way, because I think corruption is also propaganda. Like when you pushing white Jesus really hard in black people's faces, when you pushing Arabs on the corner stores in our own communities. When you pushing white teachers in our school systems. When you're doing stuff like that, that's corruption in itself, because you're taking away the self-love within the black community.
Yes, indeed.
You go to the suburbs, they ain't doing that. So I don't. It's not
those
true. I
white
don't think.
men in the burbs is active.
You know what I'm saying?
Getting
Like there's white people in their corner stores. There's white people within their WalMarts, within their. I go to white communities all the time. Golden, Colorado, Boulder. It's all white people, and
All right.
there's a sprinkle of maybe a little Asian in there, but that's because they want to be in the community. You know what I'm saying?
We
By
gonna have to
choice.
bring my man Peter in. You know what I mean? We gonna have to bring my man Peter in.
Bring in Mr.
You know what I
Lumbella.
mean? Yeah, we gonna have to bring my man Peter
Hey, you
in.
gonna have to zoom him in.
That's um
White police literally disregard white violence and
Oh,
shoot
man.
unarmed black people. Policing is corrupt, and it's important black people are the helm of the
reevaluation of
reevaluation.
police
Thank you, I
because
appreciate
it
that.
affects us worse. Okay, okay. I mean, and I did touch up on that too. You know what I mean? You know, people they say the police need more training. We need to train the police better. We need the police need more training. The dogs get more training than the police. That's what people are saying. But my thing is, if I'm beefing with you, and if I know that if I shoot you above the waist, I can get charged for attempted murder. All right.
Most of us know that.
Where I know that if I shoot you below the waist, it's not gonna be that much of a charge.
Right.
You know what I mean? But if you run up on me, you know, I'm gonna take out your leg or something like that. Like it shouldn't. You don't need training to know whether to shoot somebody with deadly force or to just disarm them, to maim them, to do whatever the fuck. Even versus, you know, you can pull out your gun, nigga, shoot them in the hip, shoot them in the leg. You know what I mean? I mean, I mean, that's another topic too. You know what I mean? Because they are doing just that. And I was saying, you know, with all this training, it's not going to change the fact, it's not going to change the fear factor of what the police see when they see a black man versus the comfort and, you know, just that level of comfort that they get around white people who's been armed and who got bodies and shit like that.
Yeah, definitely.
You know what I mean?
I could agree upon that, and I've definitely said before, if we kept this, well, I'm not even gonna say we. If the American system kept it the way they do, I'm not necessarily against. We don't need to reevaluate nothing. I'm be real. Police, they know the system.
Know what they doing.
There's no reevaluate. Hey, one thing I think that we get
exactly
wrong
what
with
they
white
doing.
folk, bruh, they understand what's going on.
They know what they doing.
Any white folks was like, hey, bro, we need to sit down with the black community and talk.
They
What
know
the
what
fuck?
they
I mean,
doing.
excuse my language, but what the hell do we got to talk about? We know the racism going on. We understand. We broke it down to the T. PTSD, post-traumatic slave syndrome, modern Jim Crow. We understand what's going on. Nobody's stupid to what's going on, especially the ones who are in that type of category or genre of life when it comes to like community. Everybody knows what's going on.
So yes, we need to defund that aspect too, because we don't need to. You know what I mean? That's silly as shit to me when people say that because they know what's what.
They know what's up, man. Like there's no reevaluation. We know what it is. The white woman hold the preservation of the white race, just as the black woman is in the black community. This is why the black woman is demonized and the family is separate so it can be preserved. That's not necessarily true, though. I say that. What's crazy is I do see a lot of divorce rates high within all races. I'm not going to lie. Like, statistically, when you look at all races, it's 1 in 3 families who are married nowadays. So not only is the American system kind of taking away the black community and the black family, but they're also doing it with all races, and I think that's intentional because they're trying to create a generalization of being on your own and creating a self-centered mentality today. You see it with YouTube, Facebook, everybody trying to be the man with the plan, and you see it with marriages now. That's why nobody can get along because nobody's willing to sacrifice, right?
Yeah.
So even thinking on that aspect, even though that is technically true, you do see a lot of like white women who are like single raising their parents nowadays or raising children. The whole thing is they still get the support from the white man to a degree. They get support from they married parents. They get support from their married grandparents. And then on top of that, y'all get a lot of privileges in which we don't. Like, you don't got to worry about your white children having to go outside and potentially get shot by their own people or by the cops. You know, that's a privilege in itself. You might not necessarily be there financially, but you at least got a form of safety all around you from all the walks of life, from the KKK, from the police officers, from the education system. You know they're going to go to a school with teachers that look like them, so they got relatability. Their classmates look like them. You know what I'm saying? You get
the topics they discussing.
yeah.
They can see
you get to
themselves
learn about
in
your
it.
forefathers.
All
White
right.
Jesus look like you. You be all right, man. Hey, I'll tell you
All
this: you
right.
get more improvement than we do.
All right, complacency. Yes, that is a form of survival. Yeah. Hoods
Hoods
are
are
hoods because of lack of resources. Defunding the police means giving people resources to thrive. People will result to violence if they don't feel supported. Okay, okay.
hoods are hoods.
I'm gonna let that one breathe. You know what I mean? I'm gonna let that one breathe. All right.
Hey, we
I'm gonna
ain't,
let it
bruh,
breathe.
I'm gonna try to tell
All
you, we've
right.
only been in hoods for like 30 years, 40 years.
I mean, and the thing is,
the
the
hoods has
hood.
not always been that.
It hasn't. You know, we've had guest speakers on our virtual art of storytelling. Just so y'all know, Tuesday through Thursday at 7 o'clock in the evening. Tap in with us to the virtual art of storytelling. But we've had a guest speaker from all walks. You know what I mean? To the point where they experienced life before gangs, before crack. You know what I mean? Had came in, so they knew what that community shit was.
Right.
So having a hood, it wasn't. With the lack of resources, just made the people from the hood
Depend on each other
depend
more.
on each other more.
See that lack of
That's it.
resources, I'm gonna be
We
real
are
with
very resourceful.
Bruh.
Black folks are very resourceful.
you. Hey,
my
if we
guy.
could, this is why I always like bringing in the Christian
indeed.
church. If we could figure out to resource the Christian pastor in their church, you know what I'm saying, keep the lights on in there, we could do that with our community. We spend over $80.3 trillion a year just as so-called African Americans alone in America within the Christian church. You telling me that bread can't go to our own community? It's not lack of. We don't need to depend on the white man system to have resources. We just need to spend our money within our own.
Oh yeah.
You know what I'm saying? I'm
Oh,
gonna
yeah.
be real.
Oh yeah.
Oh
yeah.
It's a different mentality, Colorado versus everywhere else. Yeah, I agree with you on the black people. Nah, I wouldn't though.
I mean,
wouldn't.
it's. I don't know. I wouldn't say.
I wouldn't agree with that.
I mean, I wouldn't know because I haven't been or seen black folks everywhere else.
You said you went to HBCU?
Yeah, I mean that was one place.
That's an experience, though.
Yeah, it was an experience where the black folks didn't, you know what I mean, didn't act like the niggas from Denver. So, but I'm not gonna say that there aren't, you know what I mean, nigga ways out there as well. You know what I mean? So
you could have nigga ways and be raised in the suburbs.
I mean,
I'm gonna be real with you, bro.
Yeah. HBCUs are examples of black excellence, often corrupt, yet very often, and is always in the financials. Man, the HBCU I'm talking about had a scandal, a whole financial scandal. So it's, oh man.
Kenny Stratton.
I don't know who Kenny Stratton is.
Is that
Kenny Stratton?
I think he's talking about the
who you were talking about? Okay.
Is that his name, Kenny Stratton? That don't sound right, bro.
Oh, yep, the homecoming. That's what I was thinking about. The homecoming. Yeah, I went to the HBCU homecoming.
I see a difference with the younger generation growing up, recreating the family until then. That last 3 generations were the family unit and was forced to be broken. I don't think nothing's necessarily forced to be broken. It's a decision. Now, culture might change around you. Like, we see culture changing all around us. Like, weed wasn't legal 7 years ago. But I don't necessarily think you can blame the culture. You can blame, you can't be... Unless somebody got a gun to your head, I don't understand that.
I see what she's saying, though, too, because this abundance of black men going out and dating white women was not as high as it is now versus the 1990, 1980s, you know what I mean? Looking at the times and how that's changing. So our parents, number one, our parents didn't take the time to instill in us, the value of loving a black woman.
No, they'll just be like, hey, don't go home.
Don't bring no, yeah.
Hey, my mom told me that and has 3, I'm going to be real with you. My mom told me that and has 3 children outside of myself with a white man. My mom told me that with 3 all my siblings on my mom's side,
don't bring
all
no
their dads
white girl.
is white, except me. I'm the only one with a black dad. And my dad's barely, he's scratching the surface, right?
He's scratching the surface,
He look Puerto Rican. So, my dad's black. So, I know for sure, I can tell you this for certain. That's hypocritical as hell. A lot of black women who say this has at least sprinkled or dabbled. Believe it or not, they might not have done.
I mean, is that, to be looking at that too. So how can we look at that, the younger generations, I mean, just our parents not showing us that path when they showed us what not to do. You know what I mean? Don't bring no white girl home. Don't bring no white dude home type of thing like that. Like, they didn't teach us the value of sticking to our own. You know what I mean? That's where I'm getting to with that too. So,
That's crazy though, because would you say slavery did that? Because you know, in slavery,
I mean,
we got married
yeah.
at higher rates.
Oh yeah.
You know, we was jumping brooms. Now we wasn't documented, but you seen black black woman, black husband. You know what I'm saying? They was together.
Yeah.
They was unified, consolidated within their own. Even through picking cotton, they still knew how to stick together. But in today's generation, with this enslaved freedom in which we in today, we don't got that no more.
Yeah.
How you doing?
Man, you know, we can go there because that's another topic. You know what I mean?
Agenda.
It is the agenda. Yeah.
Let me see what.
Yeah.
Let me see.
These police know exactly what to do. They just hate us.
Oh
hey.
yeah, man. That we need to have a discussion about cops, bro. Excuse my language, but no, I don't need to have no discussion about common sense. You know what I'm saying? Everybody knows how to put their shoes on. You know what I'm saying?
You may not know how to tie them, but you know how to put them shoes on.
You
they might not. They might be on the wrong feet, but you still know how to
you
put
know
them
what I'm
shoes
saying?
on.
You know what I'm saying? Everybody know how to eat. You know, that's common sense to me.
You know,
These police
everybody know how
officers
to
know what's
eat.
going on, man. I'm not trying to hear that.
For my people watching, please consider sharing this discussion. Right on, right on. More wives, less baby mamas. I mean,
Hey, I might take that quote from you, bro. That's a good quote.
more wives, less baby mamas.
I agree. Hey, you know the crazy part is there's a lot of my generation today, millennials and Gen Z, we don't believe in marriage due to like the corruption and like they're like, oh yeah, it's paperwork. But I mean, we don't understand the consummation with marriage. I value marriage because what marriage shows is a commitment between two people. You know what I'm saying? Like when you're divorced or you're not divorced, but when you're boyfriend and girlfriend, there's no form of commitment there. You know, via paperwork. That's why we sign contracts. Contracts in an agreement.
I mean, even looking at it too, you have more of these black men who are leaving their families and going to, you know what I mean? Cause I'm gonna tell y'all for one. I worked in the elementary. Was it elementary? Was it middle school?
Was what?
In Stapleton, DDDS.
Yeah, DSS2.
Nah, Denver Discovery.
Denver Discovery. Yeah.
It was elementary.
No, that was middle school.
Middle school. All right. So we had a class we was teaching in Denver Discovery.
The cock is always up in there, man.
I would say looking at so we had probably about 40 youth in the class, all right? And out of the 40 youth, you know, I'm looking at the young man who's mixed, and I ask them, are you mixed? Are you mixed? Are you mixed? They always say yeah. And it's always the black men who are the factor. You know what I mean? There's never a black woman. You know what I mean? With a white white man. It's always a black man with somebody else. You know what I mean? I mean, even looking at the whole roster too, there was maybe 2 or 3 kids who I can see had black moms and black dads just looking at them.
That's hilarious. Because the crazy part is I think the reason why that is, or why we see more black fathers and white mothers, is due to the fact of our environment, right? Because there's a tradition or a tradition within marriage that you take the woman out of their community and bring them into yours. Mm-hmm. So that's why you see, like, because I know going to suburban areas, and the more where I seen, like, because my best friend growing up, he had a black mother and a white father, and they lived in the suburbs. You know what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. They lived in areas where there wasn't a lot of black people, and that's usually because the black woman is taken out of their environment and put in the white culture. And that's why you see it less within our communities, I feel like, and you see more of the opposite.
Okay.
Yeah, this is gender.
Okay,
It's literally taking.
So okay, I see, cause they out there in Highlands Ranch.
Yeah.
Okay.
And what business you got in Highlands Ranch?
Yeah, I ain't got nothing going out in Highlands Ranch.
Yeah, so
I ain't got nothing booming in Highlands Ranch.
But guess what? If you had a, you know what I'm saying, a white woman, you gonna bring her down to the hood, because that's what you familiar with, especially fathers and the alpha male mentality in which we got. You know what I'm saying? We're gonna bring them to our community. That's what happens.
Okay.
Is there Simeon and so Simeon, that's a biblical phrase meaning Dominicans, like the Dominican Republic. No, we don't got a lot of Dominicans out in Colorado, because we in the Midwest. You ain't gonna see a lot of Dominicans travel all the way from the island come over here. We don't get a lot of that.
Black hoods were developed and defined after 80s. CIA influx of crack to fund the Iran, followed by the 90s crime bill, and affected by the welfare bill, completed the separation. Okay.
And
Okay.
let Valentine. What's your race?
She's black.
She black? Okay.
Even looking at that too, there's still the lack of education. We can't blame it all on these crime bills that affected us as well. Those are the systems that was put in place to move our behavior. All right, but the thing is, our behavior. You know what I mean? My mom, she decided to put that glass dick to her lips. You know what I mean, and get hooked on crack.
Had a
My
decision.
dad, he decided to put that bottle to his lips, you know what I mean, and get hooked on that addiction as well.
Right.
So instead of looking at what we could have done as a community together, that wasn't the solution. You know what I mean? We was too busy on blaming the white man then too.
We was coping.
You know what I mean? And being complacent. She said it earlier. All right. Oh yeah.
That's deep.
Oh yeah.
They
Oh, yeah.
every try your brothers. Yes. They try us for sure. These police have gangs in LA. They are called the 300 Boys.
Man, I heard, man, they got the Rampart scandal. They got my man, y'all gonna have to check out my man Clever's documentary. You know what I mean? He was one of our guest speaker.
He got a
On the
documentary?
back of his head, you know what I'm talking about, right? Geraldo?
Oh
On the
man.
back of his head, he got the USA versus Geraldo Lopez. You know what I mean? And it was his federal case, and it was basically he defended himself while he was in prison and gave them all that time back.
Lord
And
have mercy.
he put how corrupt that department was out on blast, and he hit him for it too. So he's doing work in the city right now too.
Sometimes
You know what I
black
mean?
men are with women for status reasons.
We
Yeah.
gonna talk about that too. We're gonna talk about that. Looking at the status of black men's survival. Are these black men with white women to survive, do you think? Is that one of the statuses that they think about?
I think smarter ones are. I'm gonna be real. So like, I think there's two forms of black men with white women. I think there's ones that hate themselves, and I think there's ones that financially manipulate the situation. Cause I met both. It's usually like the hustlers, the ones who like to get off on manipulating people, who's usually with the white women. I've seen that firsthand, so I know for facts that's true. And I've also seen people who usually it's the outcasts in the black school. You know what I'm saying? Sometimes eating at the cafeteria table alone, who kind of sometimes be swaying that way.
I mean, one thing that I was able to get away with when I was dating white women was they all knew about each other at the same time. You know what I mean?
Oh, and it's easy. It's easy. You know what I'm
I
saying?
couldn't get away with that shit with a black woman. You know what I mean?
Yeah, 90%
And
of
it'd
them.
be cool and shit like that. Like, nah, that shit ain't the move.
90% of them you couldn't
But
do
this is
that.
getting interesting.
I asked my father why he chose a white woman. He said because black women run their mouth too much, etc. He seen his mother and father off like, hey, bro, you're not lying. I'm gonna be real with you. But the whole thing is like, I think that's a stale. And the crazy part is we already know what it is, man. Like we know not all sisters is like that, and I think it's the same thing, kind of like pushing the stereotype and the stigma of hood niggas being the face of the black community, especially in hoods, when it's not true.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? That's a small percentage, just like it's a small percentage of women who are like loud, rambunctious, obnoxious, who run their mouth and don't know like how to act at all. You know what I'm saying? Will yell at anybody at any place.
I mean, but is that a black woman's fault because she's strong-willed, or the man's fault because the nigga's weak?
I mean, it's you chose to be with that person.
I mean, and the bottom line too is, it comes back down to communication. A lot of women, they mouth off, but what they say 9 times out of 10 is what we need to hear.
Okay, but you ain't gonna do that to the white man at the job. You that's my thing. See, that's the form of self-hatred when it comes to the black man. You gonna yell at the black man, say he ain't nothing, you know what I'm saying? Push him down, diminish him, create mental instability in his brain. But when it comes to the white man and the boss who's giving you that check, you gonna know how to handle your situation.
This is a check,
with.
though. We talking about your personal life. We talking about
Even
your
in a
marriage.
public
We talking
setting.
about your relationship.
Right.
You know what I mean? Versus a job. You need your job to survive. You're not gonna mouth off at your
So you don't
boss.
need your black man to survive? See, that's my thing. Like, I think
Ooh, that's a
that
hell of a question. I mean, cause they don't, but at the same time, it's showing that they're felon. We're felon.
I've
You know
seen
what
the
I mean?
richest of riches like Oprah before she got married. You know what I'm saying? Like, there's a lot of sisters out here who do need us money or not, and that's why they complain. They might have to be a single mother. They might be financially stable, but they still like where the dad's at. You know what I'm saying? So that's my thing. You need your white money to survive, just like you need the black man to too. There's a way you talk to people. You can't go and
Ah,
yell at people.
that's the key thing. He just said that there's a way you talk to people.
You can't be like, Phil, you ain't
That
shit.
is the
Fuck
way you
nigga.
talk to people.
Like, if I was saying
I mean,
this to
you can say, you know what, Philip, you ain't shit. Versus Philip, you ain't shit. It's how you say
poking
it.
you on your forehead,
Yeah.
I can't do that, man.
Yeah.
See, if you poke me on my forehead, I'm gonna be real with you, bro. I'm not punching you. I can't do that.
You might get mushed, all right? Get out of my face,
But
man.
I definitely. That's just. I'm not even gonna say my reaction. You just can't do that to me. There's
Don't
certain
poke a
things.
black man in the
You
forehead.
can't call me a
All right?
BAN. You know, bitch. You can't do that. There's just certain
Said
things
them
that are
fighting
just
words.
offline.
All right, them fighting words, all right?
You said them
All right,
fighting
them
words.
fighting words.
I mean, do you like that?
No. That's. I mean, there's certain things you can't call a black man. There's certain ways you can't talk to a black man. You know
just
what I mean?
can't do that,
and,
man.
And for some reason, a lot of strong-willed black women don't understand that. You know what I mean? That you cannot talk to black men any kind of way that you want to.
And the crazy part is these are the same sisters that be like, you suppressing my voice. I'm not suppressing your goddamn voice. I'm letting you know that you don't need to have all that voice in that situation. Like, you need to learn how to be quiet. Honestly, like, and I'm not saying this in like I hate black. I love my sisters, and I'm
you
a
don't
man.
need to have all
sisters.
that goddamn voice.
Nah, you need to. There's just certain things you need to check yourself. You can't freely talk to me any way you want to. I'm be
At
real.
all.
Not me.
At all.
You might be able to go talk to Ray like that. JJ over there in the corner.
I do not play them paper bag games. Not on duty. Not on duty.
You going? Hey,
on
bro.
duty.
I'm not allowing that.
Not
I'm
on
be
duty.
real with you.
All right. I mean, but at the same time too, it comes back in reverse. You know what I mean? How men talk to women should be out of a level of,
Respect and
I
value.
mean, just even more than just respect and value is again you acknowledging who this black woman is, who she is birthing, how she's able to give birth to gods and shit like that. And at the same time, you know, I'm still looking at how come, you know, we're still getting. I mean, it's not even just black men. You know what I mean? I said Breonna Taylor when we first started. You know what I mean? I'm even looking at this. I don't know the details. I don't know the specifics. I wasn't there. You know what I mean? I don't believe what the police documentations and all that stuff say because they've been known to document some bullshit. But I've heard a few different stories and stuff like that. You know what I mean? Black men, we can. I had just posted this the other day. We can't continue to dog our women out, continue to play our women. You know what I mean? Run them through the circus and all this other shit. But then, quote unquote, we gotta stand and protect our black women. We gotta protect them. Oh, I love my black women.
Yeah, but a homie calling a bitch. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, for real. That's hypocrisy, and I can't. It's hard for me to really respect. Not even off like the word bitch itself, but just like you're treating them as such, right?
Mm-hmm.
So my thing is like when you're doing things like that, you know, with our sisters, but then you're talking about protect black women, you're the biggest hypocrite. You're the reason our communities is the way it is.
Mm-hmm.
You know, I'm gonna be real with you. And there's a lot of brothers out here trying to be community leaders, but want to cheat. You know what I'm saying? That's not cool. And I'm never gonna ever put somebody's business out there because it's not my business to put out there. But I'm saying the whole thing is like we do as a people have to understand what self-value truly is. Even going on to that topic, because the question is like, can you be pro-black and be with a white woman? Going back to like us yelling and, you know, a lot of black women be saying stuff like this we saying right now, but just with anger and emotion and passion towards what they saying towards the black man. Like, you ain't shit, you doing this, that, and the third. But even a white woman is smart enough to know and how to handle or approach that situation usually. You're not going to always get a sister who's going to be like, you stupid nigga. But like, there's definitely white women who know how to handle or approach that situation with more maturation.
Yeah.
More maturity.
Yeah. That documentary is called Clever, you know, and his name is spelled GERAVER. ALDOGERALDO. You can find it on YouTube. And he got a few different Vlad TV interviews as well. You know what I mean? I mean, it's deep, you know, and you can also check out his story on our Make a Chess Move channel. You know what I mean? On our YouTube channel, we got his virtual art of storytelling, so he tells it all on there as well. I mean, my man G, he dope. Black and Hispanics be having the biggest mouth. This is a great discussion. I'm gonna subscribe. I mean, word up. You know what I mean? We do talk. You know what I mean? And to add on too, I wouldn't say we have the biggest mouths. I would say we have passion behind what we are passionate about. You know what I mean? We come from a place of emotion. We come from a place of love, of compassion, so when we do speak on something and when we do raise our voice and stuff like that, it's if you love me, you know what I mean, then you don't want to see, it's I don't know.
I understand what you're saying.
But
it's just the way you approach situations, and we got to get better at that.
Mm-hmm.
Hell, when I was locked up, 90% of the brothers were in there behind black men / girls.
Nah, their baby mama or their girl.
Oh, baby mama.
Yeah.
Okay, I thought
I mean,
being. See, you know the lingo.
It come back down to it come back down to the men.
90%. That's a lot.
I mean, this is the thing though. The
90%.
men, they break up with their girlfriends or they baby mamas and stuff like that, and then they expect. They think that they can just go ahead and go out there and live their life, and they want their kid's mom to not do anything, to just be a parent, to just go to work, be a parent to these kids while you out there fucking on everything, doing everything, you know what I mean, not showing any kind of respect to your kid's mom. But once she do start showing that she's moving on, now the nigga's tripping.
Right.
Instead of helping her just be great.
Yes.
I mean, you shouldn't have broke up with her in the first place if you wasn't gonna help her be great. If y'all break up.
Real talk. Don't have sex till marriage. See,
don't have sex till marriage.
I don't preach safe sex. I preach no sex.
No sex till marriage.
Real talk. Because if you preach safe sex, what's gonna happen is you're gonna get more BMs / girls, and you're gonna see that turn to 100%. You know what I'm saying? 95%. And this is why this is important to teach self-value to kids. A lot of these kids nowadays, 5th grade, 6th grade, 7th grade, up to high school, they be giving you condoms for safe sex, or like you go to the nursery, get birth control pills without your mothers or your parents knowing. You know what I'm saying? You turn around and potentially get pregnant, and then you ain't got nobody to blame but yourself. And so then you got all these controversial issues like baby mama drama, baby daddy drama. You want to blame the system or the black man, and you put yourself in that position by spreading your legs.
I mean, how can you, again, looking at this situation too, because that's a real life situation.
Right.
I know people who do their best when it comes to raising their kids.
Right.
But their kids are out in the world showing a completely different person than who they were raised to be.
Right.
You know what I mean? So even looking at that, how can we address that? That's a whole nother topic. But coming back to, you know what I mean? The dude's locked up because I know. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I'm saying.
I mean, it comes back down to, if you do not want your woman dealing with another dude, if you do not want your woman if you don't want your kids to have another man, be around them, or if you don't want your kids to have a stepdad who's going to treat them like they own, nigga, do right. Stay together.
Real to figure out.
Build up.
That's hilarious because it's true. Real
Build
talk.
up. You know what I mean? That's what it come down to. And a lot of brothers, we have that power to bring the egos down, bring the pride down, you know what I mean? Listen, and then talk.
Yeah.
So, I mean, there's answers.
Don't
there's
make your life a
solutions.
lesson, make it a blessing.
That's it. All praises to the Most High. I can jig that.
APPTTMH.
You know what I mean?
I mean, the woman that's why I got 3 baby mamas.
Woo. 3 of them.
You about to have me die.
3 of them.
Yo, you breathe for real. Hey, that's like, oh God, Lord have mercy.
3 of them. Jeez.
That ain't no joke right there.
Oh man. I mean, 3 baby mamas. You know what I mean? I don't know. You know what I mean?
Them bees is for 3 bills.
Oh man.
Real talk. Big facts. Hey.
All right, 3 of them.
3 of them.
And 4 kids. All right. Hey. Man, salute to you. You know what I mean?
No,
So nah, this is what he got to do. You know, we always looking at solutions. All right, this is what we looking at.
let
You know
him
what
know
I
I
mean?
don't got no kids.
I'm always about bringing everything together. You know what I mean? You know, looking at a marriage, it's a business as well. You know what I mean? You know, when it comes to economics, it's more, you know, effective to bring in two incomes than one. It's more effective to bring in three incomes than one. You know what I mean? So when it come down to my man having three baby mamas, you know what I mean? Again, it all falls on the man. You know what I mean? Bring that together. Y'all had this conversation. If y'all can't have this conversation and bring it up to build, because a lot of women, they be like, I ain't sharing my nigga. I ain't sharing nothing with
You
nobody.
talking about like polygamy?
I'm talking about making it happen. I'm talking about building. Yeah, I'm talking about polygamy.
I disagree.
You know what I mean?
Hey,
Shoot.
I
I mean, the
disagree.
thing is, too. I mean,
I
the
can
thing is,
I can never do that.
This is the thing. I've heard it from a woman's perspective. You know what I mean?
Right.
On, you know, she like, okay, if you got your business and if I'm working over here, then we gonna need somebody home with the kids.
Right, I understand.
I'm like, okay, cool. You know what I mean? You make so much sense.
You also got grandmas, sisters, brothers who could help with that situation.
I mean, but at the same time too, you got to look at is grandma's brothers and sisters contributing to the financial responsibilities in that house as well.
I mean, I've seen it a lot, especially grandmas and like aunties. You know what I'm saying? Like, I can't see that being a good example for our young sisters out here, especially men taking advantage of that situation.
See, that's the problem.
We got to. It would be instead it wouldn't be multiple wives, it'd be multiple hoes. I'll be real with you.
I mean, that's the problem. You know what I mean?
And they'll accept that.
I
That's
mean,
not cool.
And that's the problem because, you know, not once did I look at her or say anything sexual. You know what I mean? And that's the thing. Niggas who think of polygamy, you know, a lot of people who think of polygamy just think about, you know, fucking everybody all the time. All that. You know what I mean? When coming down to it's we weren't made to we weren't born genetically.
Hey, I just want to say again, polygamy is never the way. Hey, I want one sister. I can only
Just
deal with one
sister.
sister. Me personally, I only one. I don't want
He
three.
said he
I don't
just
want
want
four.
one.
Even if I had I'm still picking one. I'm gonna be real with you. I can't do it.
He said he just
I
want
can't
one.
do it. I can't do it. Let me read these comments. Hold on. I went to like a deep I was hearing everything going on, but I was like in a whole different space in my brain. Cause when he started, this is like I'm trying to tell you, brothers will take advantage of that like it's a porno. Like I'm saying, like let's just be real. People is not we too immature and not financially stable enough to have that situation to be responsible with it. We're not in that condition no more to do that. I just don't see that like working the way we think it
My
could.
bad said.
I don't.
He said, hell no.
Let me see. He'll know.
Bro, hell no.
He'll know. Real talk, bruh. Hey.
All right. Oh.
1 out of 3 is white man.
Oh man.
I'm good. I'm good with.
Why more problems? Oh man. I mean that's
That's real talk though, man. Hey, you
he
talking
said
about
our
one
people can
BI?
barely
You
make it
3
one versus
BIN.
one.
You BANs in one day.
He said one. I mean the thing is,
Our people can barely make 1v1 marriages work. Our people
that's
is not
because
built
they
for polygamy
always
or
stepping
polygamy.
out. They always looking for something else.
That's
You know
not
what I mean?
true.
But you know what I mean? That's a completely different topic. You know what I mean?
I would love to talk.
Yeah, we gonna come back to
I would
this.
love to talk about that topic.
We gonna talk about this, but we're gonna get ready to wrap this up. You know what I mean? Our last question. All right. Are we safer with white women?
White.
Is that the solution? Do I need to get me a white joint? Do I need to get me a little snow bunny? You know what I mean? To survive, to live,
Ooh. I want to see people
to
comment
feel
on that.
safer.
I want to see when y'all answer this as well. I want to see why no or yay or yay. I would like to see this. Let me see.
Are we safer with white women? All right.
Oh, this is more on the polygamy. Okay. Is there more comments after that?
They still coming in, you know, and I'm only asking. I'm only asking again because we don't see these white women on camera, you know what I mean, pulling their phones out, recording they black men, saying, "No, don't die, don't die, don't shoot him, don't shoot him. He ain't do nothing. He's innocent. He's unarmed." You know, we don't see that. Me personally, I haven't seen any, but I see all these black women, you know what I mean, on these phones, you know, talking about don't kill him. He's unarmed. You know what I mean? I see this. So
Oh man, I could never be with the. I can never do that. It would be a disgrace to my people. I just can never do that. You know, I'll take a bullet from a cop before I'm with a white woman.
we got one answer. My man say he gonna take one.
Yeah, I just can't do it.
He gonna take one.
Yo, that's a disgrace to my community. You
Mm.
know what I'm saying? I don't think we would have the same respect for Barack Obama if he was with a white woman. You know what I'm saying? I don't think we'd have the same respect for MLK's exes, Marcus Garvey's, Nat Turner's if they was with white women. You know what I'm saying? That doesn't make any sense to me. You know what I'm saying? That's why wasn't that? I mean, there wasn't any Black Panthers you knew of who was white. You know what I'm saying? Like that I know of. I just can't see that being done. It just it disgusts me.
I mean, look at that. I mean, it is disgusting.
It disgusts me.
I mean, we looking at solutions though. You know what I mean?
So-
If this solution right here will keep black men from getting killed by the police, because my man said white women can't save you from God's judgment.
Let's be
And you
real.
motherfucking right. You know what I mean? I jigged that 110%.
Let's
All
be
right?
real. That was the realest.
That's cold.
Hey, Simbi. That was. Yo, that's the greatest way to phrase this whole thing for real. Cause that's real talk.
Hey, that's the bottom line. You know what I mean?
That's real.
That's the bottom line.
Oh man, I heard. What was the other phrase I liked? There was another quote I liked in the beginning. What was that
It
quote?
was something else. What do you say?
Yo, that was
Oh.
I think I'm gonna be real. That was like probably the second best thing I heard.
What else did he say?
Yo, it
More
was like-
wives, less baby mamas.
Oh
That
man.
was it. That's your two
Oh,
quotes right
man.
there.
Hey
All right,
man,
white women can't save you from God's judgment. I mean, but is that God's judgment?
Yes, wholeheartedly.
You getting killed by the police from a white man?
I mean, yeah. You don't. I mean, at the end of the day,
Yeah, you right.
like you see stray bullets.
You right.
Hey, you ever heard of a stray bullet? Somebody surviving from a stray bullet? You ever heard that? You heard a couple people surviving from stray bullets?
Yeah.
I haven't seen like a lot.
It's not. I don't hear about it a lot. You know what I mean? But I hear about it.
I hear more people dying from stray bullets,
Oh yeah, more. Yeah.
and I think that's God's
Yeah.
judgment, right? Because
Yeah.
like the whole thing is sometimes it's inevitable that you have to die at a certain age.
Yeesh.
That's a good phrase. I like that phrase.
Yeesh.
Man, oh my God, that's
How
a
you gonna,
good
my
phrase.
man
Hey, my
said-
brother.
How you gonna
Dang,
fight the
Simeon, that
enemy
was
and
dope.
sleep with them at the same time?
Ooh. Yo, what's going on, bro? Y'all been reading y'all Bibles. Hey. Oh man, y'all got me. That made my teeth
All right.
white. Like Paul Mooney
All
be
right.
saying, man.
All right.
Hey, let me see. What is Alette Valentine saying? Let me see that. Barack was true and did not need the white woman to get to the White House. Compared to the other black men trying to come through the ranks of any career, that is why I think Barack was showed much love. That's why a lot of people. One thing you don't hear people say about Barack, they call him a puppet. You know what I'm saying? They might call him a clown. I've heard people call Barack Obama a terrorist. A bunch of different things. One thing I've never heard people call Barack Obama was a sellout, though. I've
heard a few people say that.
You say he's a sellout?
Nah, I ain't say it. I've heard a few people call him a sellout. You know
I
what
definitely
mean?
hear less people calling him a coon. I really think it's because of his allegiance towards being with a sister. I really think that. You don't really hear it like that, like you hear with a lot of other people.
Marquise, he say, are they the enemy though?
Marquise,
Again.
you look like Rick James in your profile picture.
Again, we looking at our last question. Are we safer with white women? Marquise said, are they the enemy though? Are they the enemy?
Yes. I think white people is your enemy just like a lot of black folk is.
Would you say define enemy?
Enemy is your that's a good question. Enemy is anything contrary towards your beliefs or your people, right?
I mean, that's within our own community though too.
A lot of people's your enemy in your own community. My biggest
I
enemy is in
mean,
me.
there's I know some nonprofits, I know some businesses get more support from the enemy if we're looking at it like that than their own people. Not even no, I'll say that I'll take that back because our own people are our enemy. 7 out of 10% of the time. You know what I mean? So said that to say, are they really the enemy?
Hey, is the throwing dollars at you make you good? You know what I'm saying? A lot of
Oh no.
a lot of rich people
no.
do that on purpose. And
Oh
you know
yeah.
what I'm saying? Make a video
Oh yeah.
out of it, put it out their taxes,
Oh yeah.
use it as a reference point later to talk to black people.
Oh yeah.
Like I threw $1 million to this community. Am I good now? Am I with y'all? Like I don't think money makes you a good guy. You know what I'm saying? I think that there's a lot of white people who are good out here with an agenda. You know what I'm saying? Just because you went to like a rally, you know what I'm saying, but you go back to Boulder with your family doesn't make you, you know what I'm saying, pro my people. You know, and I don't think that that's what does it for you. Now there is people out here, you know, white folk who will financially support a movement, you know what I'm saying, and understand the consequences in which is going on. But I think that's more for a conscious sake. I don't think that's literally because they have sincerity. I don't know. What do you think about that?
Hold on real fast. I'm gonna come back up here real fast. My man Simeon, he said Barack Obama is married to a man.
You talking about Michelle Obama? I disagree.
I mean, we was just talking about respecting black women.
I disagree.
You know what I mean?
I don't know. You gonna have to show me a video on that because I don't know. To be real with you, I mean, you know,
I don't
people
know
say
too many men who can give birth to kids.
I mean, there's people. I think it's just a masculine figure because she got like a strong facial structure, and I think that a lot
Michelle Obama, fine as fuck. That's why you got 3 baby mamas, nigga, because you don't know how to, you know what I mean? Period. You know what I mean? Period.
I don't know. No, I'm saying I really don't even know. Like I'm gonna be real, I don't know. But I'm pretty sure that she's a woman. Like there's no. I don't even see like the signs. I'm gonna be real with you.
I mean, this coming back down to again. This is a direct attack on a black woman. You know what I mean? From a black man. All right. From our own culture, within our own culture, sending the direct attack. I mean,
I have no idea. Like I'm saying, I don't know to be honest with you, it's the image of, and I think his image of being with a sister's dope. I don't know if, like I said before, there's people like, you know, Meg Thee Stallion, you've heard them conspiracies. Like there's a lot of, like Serena Williams, different things like that. Like it's because of the features. And I can understand the idea, but I disagree. I just don't really think it's true. I don't think because you have masculine features, it makes you a man. Like, unless she comes out herself and says, I was born a man, you know what I'm saying? I can never really believe it. I'm be real.
That's all you got to do. But check it out. Every Tuesday, 7 o'clock 8 o'clock in the morning. 8 o'clock in the morning.
8 o'clock?
8 o'clock. You know what I mean? We're going to run. We're going to get this thing going. You know what I mean? Tap in with us. We live. We're going to talk shit. You know, we're going to be drinking our Joe. You know what I mean? Yeah, that's all I got. You got anything else, man?
Hey, man. Go like the Facebook page, Young Activist.
Go like that thing, Young Activist.
We almost had 10,000 likes.
Yeah. And you asked me where am I at? I got my little 1,000 something. You know what I mean?
I'm trying to tell you, I'll help you out, man.
He got 10,000 of them. You know what I mean? You know what I mean?
Go help out the 2,000. Go help him get to 2,000 likes on Malcolm. Make a chess move.
There it is. Go like it. Like that thing up.
Follow me on Instagram at Young Activist. You know what I'm saying?
The Young Activist. 10K
on there too.
The youngest of the activists.
I ain't that young no more.
You know what I mean? Yeah, you almost a grown. Oh, you is a grown man.
I could drink alcohol legally.
Oh shit.
Yeah, I can't rent a car legally yet. Though.
Oh yeah, you gotta get your weight up. You know what I mean?
No.
Black men are not safer with white women. You know what I mean?
Black men. Go back and answer all them questions.
You know what I mean? We cannot. White women cannot protect us from God's. You know what I mean?
God's judgment.
From God's judgment.
Yo, that's such a cold phrase.
All right, but Hey, that's all we got for today, man. I'm gonna tap out with y'all, man. Y'all have a good weekend. I mean, a good week. All right.